What's up guys, this is James from Kings. Today we're going to show you how to true a wheel. We're going to do it on the bike because most of you are probably trying to true your wheel on the bike because you don't have one of these. So let's give you the quick rundown on how this is going to work. The first thing you want to do is you want to check the tension of your spokes, which you can do by just kind of grabbing the spokes, squeezing them together, and just going around the rim and check each one. If you find one that's a lot looser than the other ones, then you want to tighten that one up so it's equal to the other one. Because the real goal of this is to keep the spokes all around the same exact tension, but the rim is straight above the hub and it doesn't have a hop like up and down in it. So the more equal you can keep the spokes, the more equal everything else is going to be. So this rim right here is already tensioned up pretty well. You can feel it, the spokes are all fairly tight. We don't need to run any down. The next step I do is I give the wheel a spin and I take my spoke wrench and I just kind of hold it on the frame and I don't move it. I put it as close as I can to the rim and I give it a spin and I see where it touches the rim. And the best part, at least out here in the desert, is it's always dusty, so you can go and find the mark on the rim where it touched, so you know right there that the rim's being a little bit pulled this way, pulled to the left. So to correct it being pulled to the left, there's two different ways to go. If your spokes are loose and you're trying to build tension, you're going to want to tighten the spokes on the opposite side of that mark. I can see the mark right here. I'm going to start by just turning this about a quarter turn. If I feel that one is like more loose than the other ones, I might give it a little bit more than a quarter turn to start to correct the rim to make it more straight and true. Then I go back, I give it another spin and check it again, and I can see that it corrected it pretty well, but there's a gap. When I do it, I can see that there's a gap going to the other side of the rim. So I take the spoke wrench, I do the same thing to the other side of the wheel. And it leaves the same exact mark. So then, since I'm trying to build tension on this and tighten it a little bit more, I'm going to come back around, find the mark, which starts right here. I'm going to start, same thing, quarter turn. Each one of these. And then we check it. Same deal. You can check it from either side, really. Now it's pretty straight. You're never going to get it like exactly perfect. Generally, where the rim is seamed, which is always across from the valve stem hole, it's always going to have like a little bit where it's off, which is totally okay. It's not a big deal. Obviously, if you've landed hard and flat spotted your rim, or your rim is literally bent to one side, truing's not going to fix that. You're going to need to buy a new rim if you want that fixed. Once the metal is actually bent, it's just bent metal. There's nothing you can do about it. Truing the wheel and tightening the spokes will only center the rim around the hub, side to side and up and down. So now that we know the rim's pretty straight, there's nothing too crazy, we're going to build a little bit of tension just to make sure the spokes are extra tight. You're going to start by the valve stem, and you're going to just do one side of the wheel at a time, one side of the spokes. So I'm going to start the valve stem and crank each spoke on this side a quarter turn, just because I know it's even, so they'll all be building the tension evenly. So I'm going to run around the rim, give it a quarter turn. Like I said before, if you do find a spoke that seems to be a lot looser than the other spokes around it, tighten it till it feels like it's about the same tension. Every other spoke, because we're just doing the one side, which is going to pull the rim towards that side. So once you finish this side, to equal it out, you got to do the same on the other side. Quarter turn each spoke, just so you keep this rim centered over the hub and you don't true it up so it sits to one side or the other in the frame. As I go to, I like to feel the spokes, and I can feel the tension on them, so you can actually kind of feel them getting tighter. So after you've built a little more tension, you check the spokes again. They seem good. You're going to want to run this to make sure the wheel's still true and straight, because sometimes it'll go a little out of true. You can see it's slightly out, but it's coming to this side. So I'm going to do the same thing with the spoke wrench. Find my little mark, And we're just going to quarter turn these to pull it over. If you've just laced the wheel and you run the spoke down to cover the last thread, what you want to do is you just want to continue to go around the rim one side at a time, starting with a full turn, and then as the tension builds, go to a half turn and then a quarter turn to build that tension. And every full time you go and do every spoke nipple, once you start doing quarter turns, check to make sure that the rim is staying straight and true, and make any adjustments to side or up and down. Obviously, when you loosen a spoke, if I loosen this spoke, it's going to allow this side to pull the rim this way, and not only that, but the rim is going to come down. So if it has a hop where it's coming in, you want to loosen the spoke and allow the rim to move back this way so that you won't have that up and down motion. It's going to be something that you're going to need to practice a lot, but the more you do it, just like anything, the better you get at it. So you check the wheel again, and you always want to check it. Obviously the tires always look like they're kind of off. I can hold the spoke wrench and know that the wheel's true and it's straight. So there you have it. Hopefully that helps you. Thanks for watching. If you need a spoke wrench, hit kingsrideshop.com.